guys, welcome back to Path of the Valkyrie, and we're going to be playing through the season finale of season 1, and we are cutting it close because I've been tired as hell. I'm not going to lie. I've been tired of hell. My daughter is a terror, absolute terror, so that's fun, but she's with her grandma, so I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to try. I needed a nap first, so I'm still a little tired. But we're going to try to do this, and you might hear my husband screaming in the background. It's just a fact of life. So we're just going to ignore that. I'm just going to keep it on going. But yeah, okay. I feel like I got a little bit of energy, so let's attempt to play this, immerse ourselves, and get this done because, yeah, there's a update coming this weekend. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. It'll be interesting. It'll be the first weekend without the whole... what do you call it? Heaven secret thing going on. So I know that'll be strange. Oh, whoops, I forgot to read that title. I was trying to click on the side and then, because I can't hear any sounds. I don't know if there's any sounds playing though. Anyway, Squidbanir. We're back to the show where I can't pronounce anything, so that'll be fun. Sailed farther and farther away from the shore. Loki and Ulla were discussing something, but she couldn't make out the words over the howling of the wind. Leod swore viciously, shrugged out of her armor, and lay flat on the deck. I'm going to just make sure it's not playing outside. I feel like I can hear it playing from somewhere else, but not in my ear. Okay, now it's playing where it should. Now it's in my ear. I'm like... where is it? Because I could hear it was like playing on one of the other screens. So I'm just like, hello? Leod swore viciously, shrugged out of her armor, and lay flat on the deck. Cigar, here we go again. Remain motionless. I worry about, can I say both? Because we worry about both for different reasons. Obviously, Leod, because she was very aggro with Thor last time we saw her. And Cigar, he's the one who made the wild hunt that we just barely escaped. So I wonder about that coming back to bite him in the face. How he feels about that. Melody froze undecided. I want to help them. Can I do anything at all? Cigar could heal Leod, but he's unconscious himself. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, she got hurt. I vaguely remember. Is he even alive? Oh, he was unconscious? What the hell? What happened? I don't remember. Oh my gosh. She nervously bit her lip. Vanadis limped past her, leaned over Cigar, and peered closely at his face. Then she cast Melody a pensive glance. Don't worry. He's alive, albeit exhausted. She fished a small jar out of his bag and went to Leod's side. Cigar's alive. That's good. If I remember correctly, the salve should help gashes with burns. Leo gave her a mildly surprised look. You must be still numb from the lightning blast. You're wounded. The giantess moved her shoulders and winced. Looks like it. The salve won't do anything for me, but thank you for offering. Melody noticed that Loki and Ull's conversation had grown tense. What are they arguing about? Do you want to send me to hell? Ull exhaled through gritted teeth. I'm releasing the wild hunt. Loki looked askance at the archer. Are you sure? I can't do it anymore, and you're no help at all. Now that was uncalled for. Loki scanned the horizon, lost in thought for a moment, frowned, and spread his hands wide open. The ring on Melody's finger suddenly grew scaldingly hot and then stung her with equally sudden cold. Ouch. Bear with me, love. I'll try to finish quickly. A thick fog rose from the surface of the sea, and a dozen great shapes shimmered in it. The shapes defined themselves, gaining reality. Familiarly colored cells snapped, taut with illusory winds. Are those Squidbanirs? They are. I think Thor could use a good riddle. A workout for his mind, so to speak. Let him flex the thinking muscle. Let it go, Ull. Ull exhaled sharply, doubled over the board, and looked sadly at the mist-covered depths. What's your best exercise muscle then? The wagging tongue? Molly discreetly turned away. Why are you mad at me? Cigar's the one who botched the seed. Cigar has given his all, and all you did was make Thor angrier. And I just covered our tracks, so... Oil still had things to say. The wind that filled the longship's sails grew bitterly cold. You know he starts flinging lightning the moment anything goes wrong. It's not like he's very accurate with it. Accurate enough to hit your head that time, and apparently has completely scrambled your sorry excuse for a brain. It's a good thing there aren't many things that can truly hurt Leod. But Melly could have died. Several lonely snowflakes fell onto the deck. Is he talking about how Thread died? Or is he worried about me? Loki shook his head slightly and turned away, radiating the deepest kind of hurt. Ow. It was normally pretty chill for the most part. So he's like really mad. But Loki does need to start thinking about his actions more. Like, it's fine to be, the fun guy, the mischief guy, but sometimes I think he just takes it a little bit too far. I can tell he does feel bad a little bit, but oh, everybody's being baby. Everything's okay. Are you serious right now? I am. Why? Oh. He sharply ran a hand over his face as if trying to wipe his anger away. The line shapes will hold for several hours. We should pick a direction and we should pick it fast. His voice was surprisingly dry. Are we going to Mimir? Leah rose from the deck and came closer. It's like she's not wounded at all. Vanita seemed seated at Cigar's side, but she looked like she wasn't about to let a single word slip past her dainty ears. Going to Mimir in our shape would be stupid. You have to bring Cigar back to consciousness. I don't have a weapon. Vanita's foot is hurt, and from the looks of him, Ul will soon join Cigar. Which is why I set course for the Iron Forest. Loki started and turned sharply to the archer. No, we can't go there. You can't go there. We won't have a problem. He's not letting us go. What is in the Iron Forest? Why does Loki have enemies everywhere? That's exactly what I mean, though. He needs to get himself together. Ulu crossed his arms and looked at Loki, obviously challenging him. Why not? It's a quiet, calm place. Maybe Ingraboda will even help us, if only to spite Odin. Don't speak of things you know nothing about. Vanna's side rose and hopped closer. What? Sure. Losofheim is a good place to hide. But it's out of the way. Looks like I'm confused again. What's in the Iron Forest? Besides that person. I have no idea what this realm is at all. What's in the Iron Forest? A telling name, isn't it? Why can't you go there? Loki looked away and Ul scoffed. It doesn't matter, it won't be a problem unless we go there. Loki shrugged, annoyed. It's a long way away, and the Losfar always take the side of the Aesir. Aren't you picky today? What are you two bickering about? We don't have a choice either way. We could hold a vote, but it looks like only Ul thinks the Iron Force is a good idea. How dangerous is it? Won't the Losfar give us up? It'll be fine as long as Loki keeps a tight lid on his pranks. God. Then it's not gonna be fun, basically. Ul turned away, evidently displeased. Losofheim it is then. Losofheim. Losofheim. I don't know. It's pretty. Kind of reminds me of like Rivendell from Lord of the Rings. The city glittered in the rays of rising sun, closer and closer to the racing Sklipaneer. Melody forgot her troubles for a moment, taking pleasure in looking at the elegant stone homes that rose over green-clad hills. It's beautiful. She tried to map it to an architectural style that she was familiar with, but failed. We never built like this. How are those buildings even standing up? Magic? Leo stood near her and crossed her arms. They're so carefree here. What do you mean? No walls, no battlements. Why would they need them? That's first again gun. The Fife of Venge, Odin's trustee among the Losafar. Oh my god, there's so many things in that sentence. Hard for me to pronounce. Oh my god, I am butchering. I apologize. Which is to mean that living under the Allfather's wing is safe and pleasant. So, this place is under Odin's protection, and we're going straight there? Sounds like... For different reasons, it kind of sounds good and bad idea, right? Because it's unexpected for us to go into a territory. It's risky, but it's also unexpected. It's kind of like trying to hide right under his nose. You know what I mean? Let's say a good idea. We'll hide right under his nose where he won't think to look. Something like that. Change. You see, the Losafar are so light that it makes no sense to watch them. They just live, sing songs, smell flowers, and avoid any hardships. But at the same time, couldn't they possibly give us up to avoid hardships if they know that he's looking for us? Sklipaneer will make them worry. Why? Because it's bearing us instead of fear. He loves this realm and they will recognize his longship. Venice nodded in agreement. There's a small bay nearby. So we'll walk from the bay? That's time lost. And get the fuck over it. Like, you're immortal. You got time? Just admit that you don't want to carry a cigar. I don't. I'll turn their eyes away from us and we'll land on the pier. Oh my god, he's so fucking lazy. I can't even. Like, it's like, it's gonna feel unpleasant, love. The only time he does anything somewhat useful is when he doesn't want to do something. God. I don't know. I go back and forth. For the early hours, cheerful and purposeful Losafar were crowding the town square paved with light-colored stone. Their tall and narrow-shouldered figures adeptly avoided colliding with each other. They're so ephemeral. It looks like a strong wind could just pick them up. So they kind of sound like elves to me. Melody tried to avoid standing, concentrated on walking. Loki's enchantment successfully turned away unwanted gazes and questions, but being invisible brought its own set of problems. I can't believe they really can't see us. Interesting? Oh. She thrust up an arm and waved at a passing Losafar. Testing my work, love? Melody shook her head, slightly embarrassed. Loki ran a pensive gaze up and down the street, which was gently sloping upwards. Say, Venus, are you, by chance, leading us to the Hall of Venge the Bright? Ul and Leo traded apprehensive glances. Sigurd kept hanging limply in their arms. Venus frowned, annoyed. Did I click? I didn't click. Of course not. Only you could think of that. We're going to a friend. I wonder who the other person is. They turned into a quiet alley, passed several flower-smothered homes, and stopped near a yellow door. It's honestly, now I look at it, it's like a mix between Rivendell and the Shire. Right? Because all like all the overtaken like grassiness kind of reminds me of the homes in the Shire, but like the architecture is a bit more like elvish style. Right? They turned some of the homes and stopped near a yellow door. Venice looked around, making sure there was nobody watching, and pushed the door. A young-looking woman of an indeterminate age sat behind a counter in a stone-dressed chamber. She lifted her head and smiled. Huh. Welcome. She didn't see anyone standing in the doorway and blinked once. A crease appeared between her brows. Glypa, hello. Vanitas? Vanitas turned to Loki and thrust up an expecting eyebrow. Loki sighed and dispersed the enchantment. Glypa gasped when she saw them and rushed to the door, slamming it shut and barring it behind them. Then she looked them over with a sharp, professional gaze. Is that Cigar? Did you drag him out of Helheim? No. Well, he looks like Modgood used him as a chew toy for Garm. She ran a hand over Cigar's face and wiping something off. He's in a bad way. Carry him for me. She led him deeper into her house. The corridor ended in a small hall. Several doors marked with mysterious symbols surrounded the room. Bring him here. Ooh, this is fancy. One of the doors opened to another chamber, which held a slab of stone in the middle of a long, narrow blue pool filled with deep blue water. They laid Cigar on the stone as Glypa instructed. The door to your right leads to a bath. Go wash yourself, you stink of dead things. Savage. Ooh, this is also pretty. I like this place. Melody slowly lowered herself into turquoise-tinted water. Her myriad of gashes and bruises flared up for a second, but the pain soon passed. A wonderful lightness took its place. Oh, they're like healing waters. Well, at least she didn't throw us out in sight. I wonder how long we will stay here. Leon and Vanitas entered the bath. Oh, that looks comfortable. Whoa! Yes, not a sliver of wood, just the way you like it. Melody watched Leo from under lowered lashes. Leo noticed her gaze and smiled back. Leo went to the water on the other side of the bath. It immediately bubbled and hissed around her. Does the water hurt you? How's your wound? How are you doing it? How are you doing it? How's your wound? Leo shrugged. It's still there. Are you worried about Melody? Good Lord. I am. Huh. The giantess leaned back against the edge of the bath. Glypa whispered over it, so it should scab over by tomorrow. It's weird that the water only boils around Leod. It shouldn't work like that. Venice lowered herself in between them. Glypa said it would take a long time for Cigar to fully recover. Is he awake? Venice shook her head. Leod harumphed and made herself more comfortable, keeping the water around her boiling. The bath slowly filled with steam. This Glypa was a good healer. I never thought of any of the Alfar knew how to patch up a fire Jotun. Jota. Right. Jotun. She's one of the best here. Venice, how come you... She knows... You know her. She knows the guy. I'm supposed to Cigar abandoned this. I don't know. Since we're talking about this, we'll say you know her. We're friends. We met a long time ago. Glypa frequently came to Vanaheim on her father's bidding, and after the war, Freya used to send me here with messages for Vinge. Wait, Vinge has children? Oh no, Glypa's not his daughter. I stopped here when I was in town. It's a lot quieter here than the Bright One's Hall. Either because of the healing properties of the water out of sheer fatigue, Melody felt herself slowly fall asleep. Leo's voice yanked her out of that blissful state. Melody, how are you holding up? What do you mean? You're shouldering a lot. I've seen people break under a lot of less pressure. Melody thought for a moment. You know, I keep thinking, what am I becoming? Will Mimir help? Why are we constantly in danger? Well, we're constantly in danger because Odin is an asshole, so that answers that. Will Mimir help? There's no sense worrying about that. I wonder what about me coming. I wish I knew why it's happening. You know, however you spin it, remaining a human will be dangerous for you. I've noticed you're a bit faster and your stamina improved and you're showing true power. But where did it even come from? Odin's mark, I'd guess. You've gotten it for a reason. Still, the power should have come from somewhere. Humans aren't just born with it. You know what I think about? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm sorry. I don't know why that pops in my head. Well, I do know. When it's something, maybe she's born with that thing. Or aren't just born with it. I'm sorry. What do you mean? If the Bifrost has been locked for a long time, I definitely can't be anything other than human. Vanessa shrugged. Or can I? I'm not trying to make you doubt your family. Melody leaned back on the edge of the bath and watched the thick clouds of steam. Vanessa sighed, running the water of her hair, and rose. Going somewhere? I need to do something before we leave. First, auto gun. We'll go with that. Melody followed her with an interested gaze. I don't know what that mysterious business is. Hope she'll be okay. Although I'm not worrying too much about her. Her gaze might have been a bit too attentive. So, Vanessa, huh? You like her? Stop. Have you heard this music before? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. It's pleasant, though. It's like light and eerie and emotional. I like it. Like her? I like you a lot more. Wonder where she's going. I do like her. I don't want to be romancing everybody. like a 10 doesn't sound like a lot, but it can mean a lot at the same time. And I don't think it's friendship. I'm just saying. Especially with this romantic kind of music was playing. Kind of like a clue. Like, hey, be careful. I just wonder where she's going. The giant scoffed slightly. You don't trust her? It's not about that. They heard steps from the corridor. Still bathing? Leon looked at Glappa, somewhat embarrassed. I prepared a haul for you. Glappa led them to a large, comfortable room. The window was covered with ivy, which grew so thickly that it effectively blocked the light from outside. Several beds stood along the walls, and Ul sat on one of them. Loki entered and after them, poked his nose out of the window, scoffed, and turned to the rest of them. This town is lively today. Yeah, your timing was impeccable. I'd have my hands full tomorrow, and I wouldn't be able to. She noticed a surprise. So you don't know yet. So, Sol brought a daughter into this world. Today they will give her a name, and there's going to be a feast in Vengeance Hall. And there'll be festivities in the main square. There's always a lot of headaches that need relief after a good celebration. And if someone trips, maybe even a couple of broken bones. So, I brought you something. She winked and pointed out a stack of clothing on one of the beds. Make yourselves comfortable. There's still time before the festivities start. Glappa left and closed the door behind her. Mother looked at the stack of clothing pensively. I want to change. Oh, look at that little light thing. That's fun. I want to change. What dress should you be wearing, love? None of them unless you leave. Leo rolled her eyes and loomed over him. As you leave the room, or I throw you out of the window. Dress is so unimaginative. Leo and Ul traded glances, sighed in perfect synchronicity, grabbed Loki by his arm and dragged him out of the room. Finally. We have the dawn. Oh, that's pretty. The dusk. Huh. The zenith sun. The midnight. You know we extra. You know we're extra. Look at it. The soft fabric still along her skin. In a glory point. It was worth it. I swear it was worth it. Look at that dress. Come on. It's worth it. I'm going to be wearing that for a while. They have to come up with something real pretty to make me change my mind. Feels like this dress wouldn't sell as much as a grown. And it feels much better than clothing look he made for me. Who's the artisan, I wonder? A dress like this needs a special hairstyle. I agree. The flowers. Ooh. Pretty. Ooh, a diadem. Oh, man. Can I top it? Ribbons. Okay, no. We're going with the diadem. Oh, my God. Look at her. She's a freaking queen. She's a freaking queen. Look at her go. God. Just bow down. Just bow. She's a freaking queen. Look at her. Melody finished fiddling with her hair and let the others back into the room. Hey, that's familiar craftsmanship. But I can't put my finger on it. Where have I seen it before? What are you on about? The dress, of course. It's a lo-so-far fashion, but it's not of their make. Melody smoothed the hem of her dress. It's obviously not something I can see. That's a good choice, love. I was afraid you would make a mistake and decline to emphasize your better parts. Look, you pipe down. Nobody gives a goat's part. When you think of anyone's parts, the goat scene! I still need to replace season 1 to go get the goat scene. Because that's hilarious. I've been seeing that goat around on Reddit. They made it into one of the little things you can put by your name. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I simply think that it would be tragic to hide the interesting bits. The day was slowly coming to an end. Leo stretched on the bed with a contented sigh. Finally, a night's sleep under a sturdy roof. I'll have to find a weaponsmith tomorrow. Why do you need one? The Avenger did not survive clashing with Mjolnir. I can't walk around without a weapon now, can I? There still will be rubbish, I just know it. Loki nodded to himself. I think their little celebration will be incomplete without me. I would love to blow off some steam too. On the other hand, why not get a good night's sleep? That's what I'm thinking in real life. As soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going back to bed, I swear. God. I'm not moving anywhere until tomorrow. She stretched again and buried her face in her pillow. I'll go take a walk too. Why are you all so energetic? Huh. I want to go with Loki, go with Ul, or go alone. Yeah, we're going with Ul. Would you keep me company? Gladly. Then I'll find my own way. Yeah, you will. You'll just mess with my flow. A little fire gathered in the town square. Thick floral scents hung in the air and tender music flowed from within a platform on which musicians sat. Ul didn't go to the center of the crowd. He stopped at the edge of the square and looked at Melody. It's also like, it's just so like thick with like wildlife and stuff. So cool. Why did you want to come here? To cheer you up. Cheer me up? The archer nodded. How exactly? Walk, talk, maybe try something tasty? He gave her a quick glance. It shouldn't all be running and fighting, should it? Oh, you don't have to cheer me up. Alright. But I've been meaning to ask what's going on in Midgard these times. Then, an answer for an answer. Dibs on the first question. They sat on the edge of a raised flower bed. Melody watched the moving, shifting, dancing crowd. What should I ask him about? The wild hunt or Thread? Huh. Thread is obviously very important. They want to ruin the mood? Want to ruin the mood? It's their chance. I just want to see what he says. Tell me about Thread. What was she like? Ul slightly sighed and looked at her thoughtfully. She was very stubborn and prickly. Mother kept trying to teach her woman's crafts, but it wasn't meant to be. Once they got into a huge fight and Thread came to Odin and asked to become a Valkyrie. The Allfather was, of course, less than thrilled, but Freya took her side. Sounds too simple. Just walk up to him and told him, make me a Valkyrie? She had the right. She's Thor's daughter. Was. I'm sorry. Archer shook his head absent-mindedly. Because it is the romantic music. My turn. Tell me, Valkyrie, who am I to you? I thought you were asking about Midgard, sir. He changed the rules when I started getting personal. He's like, okay, fine. Then we'll get personal. He looked at her closely as if trying to get an answer before she could voice it. Oh, yeah. When I do in the friend zone. The words hung between them. Melody touched her palm to Ola's cheek. I just smiled and covered her hand with his. I like you being bold. She kissed the corner of his mouth. Oh! Oh my god. They're so cute. Oh my god. Oh, likes your answer. Ola pulled her closer. Melody buried her face in his slightly curly hair. He smells nice. Pine in a cold morning? The archer hugged her tightly and tenderly touched his lips to her temple. I don't want to let go of you. Lindo. It's a good evening. The romance scenes are always like so short. It's like, no. I want time to like settle into it. For the first time, it seemed like forever. That just made me think of a Disney song. Melody woke up well rested. She remembered the kiss and the smile spread across her face of its own accord. The room was empty. Looks like everyone's left already. I wonder why they didn't wake me. Probably because you were like super sleepy. Should we check on Cigar? Yeah. Melody quickly found the right chamber. She knocked, but nobody answered. Either he's not here, he hasn't woken up yet. It was the door. It wasn't locked and swung open. Last time Melody saw Cigar, he was clothed and lay on the slab of stone. He looks beautiful. I think on a replay, I probably romance him next, actually. He's kind of grown on me in like different ways. Like the more I find out about him, he's like one of the most interesting characters in the story. Like there's so much surrounding him. Like his grumpiness is kind of grown on me in a sort of like adorable grump kind of way. You know? Right now though, I'm still in love with Ola, but because I'm a fan of an archer. But yeah, I think on second play, definitely go for Cigar first. After that, then we'll see. Right now, however, he was suspended in the dark blue water, naked, with his eyes closed. Flowers floated on the smooth surface of the water, resembling lotus blooms. Their petals glowed softly. She froze, unsure what to do next. I haven't thought this through. Should I just go? Cigar opened his eyes. He'd been standing there for several minutes. Did anything happen? Sorry. I came to check on you. I'm glad you're feeling better. The herbalist smiled sadly and shook his head. It won't be for long. However much power is poured into me, it will flow away. Turn away. He turned his back to her and rose in the water without waiting for her to comply. She quickly looked away. Is that because of Odin's spear? Cigar sighed. I think it's not only about Gungnir. He wrapped himself in a towel and sat on the slab, his bright green eyes burrowed into her face. She thought for a second that she could see a faint glow coming from the herbalist, but she blinked and it was gone. Why did you agree to do that ritual again? The herbalist scoffed morosely. Before the war, I had a clear goal. Win at any cost. Be the best. And then I paid for it and lost everything. And Odin decided to play the magnanimous victor and did not finish me on the spot. He sighed heavily. I tried for so long not to push my luck, and I spent whatever I had left. He shook his head. Burning away little by little is infinitely worse than a quick death. So now I have another goal. Not to lose. To make it before it becomes too late. I'll do whatever it takes. I think Glypa's efforts gave me a little more time. I was telling you, he's really interesting. Glypa was in the greeting hall. There were, however, Vanadis and Dagran. What's she doing here? You could at least have sent me a message. I'm sorry, I didn't want to risk it. Risk it? You disappeared without warning. I wonder how she found us. Melody stepped closer. Dagran noticed her and went silent. The yellow door opened. Glypa stood in the doorway holding something voluminous. Whose beast is that outside? We got a kissing from Ol, so that's always nice. Learn a bit more about Sakaar. Loki did something useful. I think all in all, it was a very solid episode. Stuff was pretty. We got nice CG. Yeah. I'll give it 5 stars. Alright. Episode 10, we have the season 1 finale. What does the meeting with the Rune Knower have in store for you? I don't know, but let's find out. We have gems, we have teacups, we are ready. Okay, what should we play after this? Maybe Rage of the Titans, I'm thinking. What do we have left? Rage of the Titans, Sophie's 10 Wishes, and Chasing You. Chasing You is getting good again. So I'll probably play that after Rage of the Titans, and then I'll play Sophie's 10 Wishes. And then we'll probably immediately have to play Dracula's Love Story, because by the time I finish those 3, the update will be out. No, undoubtedly. The Well of Mimir. Oh, we finally get into Mimir? Glypa froze on the doorstep in surprise, staring at the scene in her shop. Hello, Dagran. I didn't know you were in town. Dagran nodded in greeting and turned back to Vanitas. You still haven't started explaining. Snakes, can we not do this right now? You must be tired from the road, and Dagran sighed, irritated, and crossed her arms. You always do that. Stop dodging the issue. Looks like they're close. Glypa put her bundle on the counter. Vanitas cast her a pleading glance. Dagran, say, is that your cat outside? Cat? He's with me, yes. Should you maybe bring him inside? Dagran sighed again, still annoyed, went outside and half-dragged a familiar cat into the shop. Icicle? You went to Jotunheim? What else was I supposed to do? You weren't at our place. Drakenor was trashed and nobody's seen you, and I thought you were dead. I had to go and beg Hunla for help. What for, I might ask? Glypa leaned over the countertop and watched with vivid interest. Should I leave or intervene in some way, or ignore them? While she mulled it over, Vanitas came to a decision and gestured in desperation. Very well, let's talk. Took Dagran's hand, led her deeper into the house. Where? Leod, who was walking down the corridor, had to press herself into a wall to let them pass. She trolled Vanitas and Dagran with a confused stare. Whoa, what's going on? Well, Dagran found us. I noticed. That was change? I don't even remember what the other option was. But how did she get here so fast? The cat patted closer and pushed his wide forehead against her midriff. Icicle. The giantess leaned over the cat, ran her fingers through its thick fur, and fished out a thin metal tube. What's that? A message from my dear nephew. I was almost worried I had another reason to kill Thor. Slid a finger along the shell, found an imperceptible lock, and opened the message. The tube rolled out in the light blue scroll, studded with dark blue runes. Huh. Was that good or bad news, I wonder? I'll go check on Sakaar. Don't leave the beast unattended. Melody remained alone with Leod and the cat. The giantess rolled the letter back into a tube and ran a hand over her hair and thought, Leod, is everything alright? Surprisingly, yes. My nephew remains unharmed despite having helped us. Oh, good. How could he could have been punished for helping us? Of course he could have. This is Odin. What do you think? Molly tried to imagine anything capable of hurting the enormous frost Jotun, considering Thor was there. So, Nia was worried about her family and didn't say anything. If helping us was so dangerous, why did Snare do it? Wouldn't you? If I had found a stranger near my home and the murderer of my son came for her, leaving my aunt in chains. Sat on it, Leod watched her with interest, waiting for an answer. And the murderer is the son of a local bigwig who can come down on me like a ton of bricks, and I have loved ones to protect. It's hard to answer. I'm not sure I can put myself in Snare's place, but I would absolutely help. Even if it's dangerous, it feels right. I was hoping you'd say that. The giantess' smile was warm, but her eyes held a deep sadness. I think you already knew what he would do the moment he found you. How could Snare know that Thor would come for me? Leo laughed and shook her head. He didn't. I mean that he knew he would see the deed he started, helping you to its end. They heard a bang from deep in the house, as if from a door being slammed. The sound heralded a swiftly walking Vanus. Leo, you were saying you wanted to go into the city? Would you mind if I joined you? Did a snake bite you or something? I get it. Sorry. I was so corny. Vanus winced and brushed a strand of hair off of her face. I simply need to take a long walk. Melanie walked next to a slowly moving Leod, enjoying the warm rays of the sun. Glypus at the weaponsmith shop should be around here somewhere. Ooh, can I get a new weapon too? I keep meaning to ask, how's your wound? Where's everyone? She's doing okay. Let's ask where everybody's at. Loki went to get provisions, being the most voracious of us. Ul went with him to keep an eye on Loki's thieving hands. Thank goodness. How come they didn't wake me? You're a very sound sleeper. Did you like the celebrations yesterday? She nodded thoughtfully. Ul was an excellent chaperone. And a surprisingly good kisser. Vanna sped up unconsciously and had to slow down to match her steps to theirs. Her annoyance felt palpable, prickling Melody's skin with invisible needles. This was definitely interfering with her enjoyment of the weather and surprisingly mundane activity of walking. I wonder what happened between them. Still, how did Dagron find us so fast? Vanna stopped abruptly and turned to them. Oh, I have an answer to your question, Melody. She started counting, unfolding one dainty finger at a time. First, she turned half of Vanaheim upside down. Then she headed to Jotunheim, where she had the brilliant idea to become indebted to Hunla. Hunla naturally did not answer her directly and sent her to Snares. At least she didn't bump into Thor there. Vanix has held and waved a hand. Icicle led her from there. He's a smart boy. Melody raised a pensive eyebrow. A magical cat who can track people to another world? And all this because she doesn't trust me to make my own damn decision about how to live my life. They sound like sisters. For sure. Well, the fighting kind of sisters. To be fair. It doesn't sound like me and my sister. Me and my sister, we never fought. We always got along. I don't know if it's because we were like 4 years apart. Shouldn't that be like, I don't know. Maybe if we were closer in age, we would have fought more. How does that work? You guys tell me. If you have like siblings, like where you go like at each other's throats, kind of, not like, you know, like fighting like cats and dogs, but you know, like annoying each other and stuff like that. I don't know. We always got on really well. I can't remember a time where we were just at each other's throats ever. I don't know. We were always really chill. But yeah, but still, they sound like sisters. Well, what do you want? She's worried about you. How's that working out for you? That sounds aggressive. She is worried about you, but you're trying to vent right now, so probably not time to bring that up. But she is absolutely worried about you. She did have a good point. She thought you were dead for frick's sake. So, I mean, of course she would be running around doing everything trying to find you, make sure you're okay. But I'm curious. What do you want out of life? Vanna aside, I want to find a way to live in peace without looking over my shoulder all the time. And Dagron wants to turn everything back to what it used to be. But it won't work. It's so complicated. Gods are no gods, but their troubles seem awfully relatable. Dagron is so used to protecting me that she doesn't see any other way. Have you tried to stand up for yourself? I think that when she sees that you're doing fine, which just I do. Walk around with a pack of beasts who will agree to tear to pieces anyone I point at. Whoa, that's like Snow White on the dark side of the forest. Leo harummed and shrugged. Oh, why isn't that an option? I'd rather the animals don't get hurt. What about prospective suitors? They didn't have to search long for the weaponsmith's shop. Its storefront, crammed with elegant weaponry of all kinds and shapes, was easily recognizable even from across the street. Well, it's not as bad as I thought. Hope she can find something. An older Lucifer popped out from behind the counter and smiled invitingly. What do my ladies desire? Leo looked around and scoffed. I don't see anything suitable yet. She carefully took a close-hilted sword from its stand and ran a finger along its narrow blade. Wow, looks like a toothpick in her hands. That's some good steel. You won't find better steel in all of Losafheim. I might, but I don't have time for it. She tried to grip the sword and went disappointed. The grip was completely lost in her palm, and her hand looked painfully crammed into the hilt's carved steel bars. It's just not my size. We don't get much traffic from Jotnar. I figured, with a blade like this, she checked herself. I won't be able to do battle. She's still looking for a weapon to get revenge on Thor? I happen to have a larger sword, a special order in fact, but nobody came to collect. Show it to me. The Lucifer nodded and disappeared down a passage. Venice, do you want to get something for yourself? Venice shook her head. I don't like weapons. Do you know how to use weapons? Even if it's for self-defense? I have ways to defend myself, but they're all unpleasant. Steps approached from the passage until the Lucifer came into view, carrying with a deceptive ease a sword taller than himself. The hilt among a third of the length ended in a wide ornamented crossguard. An unsharpened portion right after the guard flared into two sharp spikes, which tapered black into a long double-edged blade. Well, that's more like it. Whoa. The giantess hefted the sword and smiled in satisfaction. This will do nicely. Oh, we don't get to see it! Leo walked slightly ahead of them, carrying her cloth-wrapped sword over her shoulder. Lucifer passers gave her surprised looks, but did not react otherwise. I hope all they do is look surprised. I'm not looking forward to touring local prisons. Leo, tell me, can we really walk around with weapons? I mean, well, how else are we going to get back from the weaponsmith? Why are you carrying like that? I'm drawing too much attention. I mean, we can't really help that. Is she carrying it in a weird way? Is it because of her injury? How else am I supposed to carry it? Oh, we do see it. In the sheath behind your back? I'd offer you to try it, but it's longer than you're tall. Oh. Look at it. She looks cool. Let's take a picture. Someone just messaged me. Is it important? It's not important. I just want to see baby pictures. Offer you to try it, but it's longer than you're tall. Even if you're slinging it across your back, it would still be impractical. But, I mean, you're carrying it. Venom's trailed behind them, then caught up. I need a cloak. There's a tailor shop there, and... I'll wait. I should probably get something for the road, too, but I have no money. There's a weird feeling. I'm worried about money for the first time since I woke up in Sakar's home. Are you going with Vanitas? I have nothing to pay with. Leo scoffed and offered her a small pouch. I'll pay you back. With what? Don't worry, you won't owe me. Anyway, it's Loki's money. I made him pay for Ul's arrows, remember? Ah, if it's Loki's money, then we'll spend it. Thank you. Alright. That's kind of cute. I like the top half, not the pants. Huh. I don't like the top half. I like the bottom half here. I like the top half here, and I don't like the bottom. However, we're going to be looking at it like this for the most part. Right? If all we see is this, that's pretty nice. I'll still put my other outfit back on though. Going back, putting my other outfit on. Where is it? There it is. We paid 100 gems for it. I'm gonna see this outfit. Melody puts the yellow door. Dagron sat on the floor, propping her back against Icicle's fluffy flank. Venice approached her. Dagron, I'm here to say goodbye. You're not coming with me? No, I sent to return to the cat and replay Hunla. But, but I'll wait for you however long it takes. Melody felt Dagron's intense stare on her, even if you return with company. What's that about? What does she mean? What does she mean? Wait. Is Venice an ally? I can't tell. I can't tell if she is or not. Because the only thing I can get from that is if I'm coming back with Venice because we decided to, travel and be together. Dagron rose and handed a small bundle to Vanitas. Here, this will protect you. Melody caught Leo's gaze. The giantess pointed with her eyes and went down the corridor to their room. Right, nobody interfere with two goddesses saying their goodbyes. Doesn't bother me at all. Loki and Ul were playing dice on one of the beds. Sagat was repacking his bag near them, frowning at something. The room smelled faintly of herbal mix. Melody glanced at Ul. He smiled back happily. You're right on time. Wasn't Vanitas with you? She was. Saying goodbye to Dagron just to take care of. Just saying goodbye. With relief, I was half afraid Dagron would join our merry band. Why, oh great and terrible? You should have seen the look she was giving me, love, as if she was playing the poor snakes in my trousers. You would have deserved it. That's because you nearly knocked her down with the door and didn't even bother to apologize. But you did it for me. What was the point? Give me strength. Looks like Ul's less mad at Loki today. Ul gathered the dice and tied them in a pouch. We'll move at dusk. Leo harumphed and sat on the free bed. What? We won't stay the night? We've tarried here long enough because of me. It was necessary. I'm glad you're okay. Relatively fine. Anyway, this cost us time. It's fine. I don't think Thor's already got to the old man to complain about how we've outwitted him. We'll leave as soon as it gets dark so that nobody sees Kid Bunny or leave. I don't want to make this job easy and easier. Okay. Mother leaned against the longship's board rail and turned her face to the wind. Kid Bunny was cutting across still water which carried specks of crushed ice. Oh, have we come far while I slept? A third of the way to the thin place we need. If I catch it right at the right point, it should lead us close to Mimir's abode. She heard pride in his voice. Everything's going smoothly for now. Oh, what will you do after you ask Mimir your question? Archie looked at her and smiled. Why are you asking? Well, as I remember, you promised to lead us to Mimir, but you never said what you do after that. At first, I thought I'd return to Idlir. Idlir? Now I think I'll bet you're aside for as long as you'll have me. That'll be forever. That's surprising. You barely know me. And you me. But I hope to correct that. He gave her a pensive gaze. If you want, we can start right now. I want to know about you. I mean, I know about me. What do you like besides forest and archery? Snow. Idalir is beautiful in winter. Idalir? I kind of like the way that sounds. But where I grew up in the snow almost never melted. He smiled softly. Like the blue shadows of snow mounds and the way it crunches underfoot. And the quiet and bright nights after it covers the earth. So, you'd like Snare's place? Ul smiled carefully, pulled her closer, hugging her by the waist. The veil of the fallen is beautiful, yes. But I like best the fact that you were there, alive and unharmed. Oh. Okay. Thank you. That's what I needed. Just like a quiet little moment. We're like, building up on our relationship. So very nice. Okay. And we kind of get some ideas of where the relationship is going moving forward. I like it. 3 days later, they arrived at Mimir's cave. Okay, so we've completed the first part of our journey. Like, we set off to go to Mimir's place, and now we're at Mimir's place. We obviously know that's not going to be the end of the adventure, but, it's a start. A giant root of the Yggdrasil loomed from a thick bank of fog. Melody shivered and hugged herself. It's so quiet here. So, are you ready to entertain the old man himself, Mimir? Honestly, I didn't know if Mimir was a man or a woman this whole time, so his voice was painfully loud in the surrounding glooming silence. We won't get off with songs and dances, but we won't lose any eyes either. There's no use in guessing. We'll never know what he wants as a payment until he tells us. Leo scoffed and went to the entrance. Are you done wagging your tongues? The cave greeted them with dampness and the stale smell of mold, which was bitter on their tongues. A low, wide well was in the middle of the cave, and something huge, like a moss-covered boulder, lay in the middle of the well. A thin shaft stretched at a sharp angle from the round surface of the boulder. Nell looked around, but did not notice anything else of interest. That's weird. It felt sacrilegious to speak loudly here, so she lowered her voice. Where's Mimir? Sagar let out a strangled breath. Ul stepped closer to the well and swore softly. Loki went after him, but stopped a few steps away from the water and wrinkled his nose. Melody, stay back. I should ask, look, watch. Ask sounds like I'm questioning it without doing what I'm supposed to do. But look sounds like I'm going to investigate anyway. Why do they want me to stay back? Look and watch. What's the difference? Look sounds more proactive, though. That's kind of what our deal is. We're kind of ballsy. Let's take a peek. Yeah. She stepped forward, but Leo's hand stopped her. Don't. You won't see anything good there. Is Mimir dead? Sagar stepped closer to Ul and leaned forwards, looking at something. Well, that's a skull. Mimir's dead. We came all this way. But they knew that, so they came here first to kill him? Is that a skull? Well, there goes my hope of finding out what's going on. What tipped you off, Sagar, you peerless sleuth? His silence, mossy skull, or the giant spear poking out of his eye socket? That was his skull? He was huge. He wasn't even from Jotunheim. Vanda sobbed and turned away. Really, Loki? It's no time for your jokes. Loki extended an arm toward the spear but didn't touch it. I always have time for jokes. What now? Her voice echoed weirdly across the cave, growing louder and then quieter again. The mark on her hand shone brighter than ever before. The ring burned cold and her wrist felt engulfed by a wave of stinging pain. What the fuck? The whisper of feathers rubbing against each other filled the air. She heard ponderous steps coming from the entrance. Melody turned sharply. An old man leaned on a spear and accompanied by 2 ravens walked straight towards them. Was it Odin? Odin? Loki was the first to react. He bolted aside as if trying to dodge something invisible. He yelped a few steps into his motion, fell to the floor like a sack of grain, and stopped moving. Oh, he was dodging something invisible. Enough running, lie, Smith. Lay down. Why, Smith? Melody tried moving but couldn't. What eldritch crap? She couldn't even move a finger. The air around her felt crystal hard, encasing her body. It was hard to breathe. It's like being buried under a rock slide. Sagar's despaired face told her the others were having the exact same problem. Odin pierced him with the stare of his lone eye. Be silent, the lot of you. His voice tolled like a bell. Sagar fell silent mid-word, unable to finish. Odin turned to her. For a second, Melody felt like she was staring down the barrel of a gun and not at the all-father's face. Just don't panic now. Hello, balance breaker. Hello, Odin. What's he doing here? Has he grown tired of sending Thor after us? Much have you and the Willbringer done. Entrapped Hugin and Munin, disturbed the Vanir and Björkenor, stole Skibnir, and set the wild hunt on Thor. Yeah, because you sent Thor to hunt us down. without explaining why. So, hello? Looked him over with a heavy gaze. Disappoint me, well, once I had a place for you by my side. Nobody wants to be by your side, dickwad. He'll be by my side from now on, thanks. Usica are trying both their fate and my patience. Leod, who left Valhalla for revenge on my son, and Vandis, who turned deserving men for her petty wants. He wrinkled his face in disappointment. And a Mist Guardian who broke into Asgard and did not even come to acknowledge its ruler. First of all, I didn't break in. I don't even know how I got here, asshole. For one, like, why would I know how I got here? Like, do you or do you not know what's going on? Like, I'm confused. So all Lucas fault was looking for a way home. I was trying to survive. I was looking for a way home. And I was trying to survive with all the shit you kept sending at us. For no fucking reason. I didn't mean to cause trouble. This is all an absurd misunderstanding. Your words are as empty as the... I know you're going to try to pronounce that because you're an idiot. I really don't care what you say. Odin stepped even closer to her. She felt the flap of his raven's wing on her face. You can't see the delicate wave of the fates of the 9 realms. You don't see the omens. No, I don't, which is why I'm trying to go home. Which is why it doesn't make sense for me to know that I'm causing trouble. You understand that? You can't... You can't tell me that I'm, you know, willfully causing trouble and then tell me that I don't know what's going on at the same time. That's the point. I don't fucking know what's going on. Like, you don't make any fucking sense. Like, you're so fucking stupid. I can't even. But I'm ready to lift the veil from your eyes. For a price, of course. What? I don't need you to tell me shit. Why do I gotta pay you? Odin's long eye flashed in surprise under his hood. He stayed silent for a moment, and Melody did not dare break the silence. Finally, he scoffed. Had I not known you were from Midgard, you could have passed for one of us. Very well. As is that way, a favor for a favor. That will be fair. Was sending Thor after his fair as well? It was necessary. No, it wasn't. She crossed her arms. You could have sent a fucking message. Hey, I can move now? That doesn't answer my question. When the 9 realms are at stake, ceremonies can be dispensed with. What? The runes have showed me that Mimir is dead. The heathen who dared to spoil the well of a wisdom must be punished. And you, Melody, will find them for me. The mark on your hand will not let you betray me. The mark flared again, but there was no pain this time. And you, Oathbreakers, will help her. Both to atone for your transgressions and to earn my forgiveness. He thrust a hand forward and a thin, wide band appeared in his palm. Melody knows Ul's confusion, and a second later he looked grim. Odin spoke several words, and identical bands appeared on the other's wrists. With the last intonation, the bands flared and appeared to soak into their wearer's skin. So we're all marked by Odin now. I will be waiting. He turned and slowly walked out of the cave. When his last steps echoed their last, Melody felt that she could move freely again. That was fucking annoying. Like... So he's saying that he'll tell me why he's hunting me for a price. What kind of sense does that make? What kind of sense does that make? And so now he just let me roam around? Like, so it's not dangerous to just let me roam around? I'm confused. Like, if we're trouble, then why just let us wander? Like, what the fuck? Is he trying to... Is there whoever responsible for killing the mirror? Is that what we're defending against? Maybe? Is that the real big bad here? I have no idea. Like, when you get this damn mark off? That's number one. Awful. He rose and dusted himself off. Son of a woodpecker and a shrew. Venice hugged herself and started walking back and forth. What's gonna happen to me now? Same thing that will happen to us. She showed her teeth. It couldn't be called a smile. You heard the All-Father. Whom did you refuse to get lumped in with us? Tyrion and Hermodir. What are you talking about? We must get rid of Odin's spell as soon as possible. Careful with the words, Cigar. The spell will cut off both your hands if you even think wrong. The archer looked at them all carefully. This applies to everyone here, especially you, Loki. Melody slid to the ground. It's all wrong. Where are my answers? Just had an awful thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're neck deep in shit, aren't we? You're absolutely right, love. Well, it's time to think. That was annoying. That was annoying. That was the season finale? Usually you feel something, especially from an adventure. I feel like the episode 2 episodes ago should have been the season finale. Right? But I guess it's just kind of like, at the same time, it finishes one journey and then starts you on another, to be fair. I guess I was expecting an epic battle, but we already had the epic battle. And this way is a little bit better because it didn't leave us on a cliffhanger, which is true, which is fair. I guess I'm just disappointed. You know what? I think I'm feeling the same thing that she's feeling. I'm really disappointed that we didn't find Mir after all this time. They've been mentioning this person over and over again, and then we come and they're just dead. I think that's what we're supposed to feel. Actually. So in a way, the finale did its job. We feel like, you know, fuck. We're like right emotionally where the characters are right now. We're like, but this sucks. This sucks. So in that way, I will give it 5 stars. All right. I'm pretty sure that's it. Let me watch this ad to be sure. Loading, hearts, loading, hearts. Ignore me. I'm sorry. Yeah, in development. Okay. Finish the season. Who hides in the fogs of Svartalfheim? Oh my god. These names get harder and harder to pronounce as they go along. I need a class. A class on like Norse mythology pronunciation. Maybe I should go find a video and like practice. That would be good. And like kind of like I should sound it out, like write it, like, you know, enunciation wise. That would be fun because, yeah, these names are tough. But okay, we finished season 1. That's exciting. Overall, it's been a fun season. Yeah, and that last battle was really exciting too. A lot of cool things happened. And we got our romance going on. That's really adorable. I like the story. The story is a lot to digest because there is like a lot of rich history here. Like you definitely feel like you are your character. Well, she just dumped into this world and she's trying to get her bearings with all these new things. And it's the same thing as a reader. Like I think that's what this story does a good job. You know, you feel emotionally in the same place as your character. Like you just kind of like suddenly lost. Like you don't have all the pieces, and like you definitely feel like you stepped into a world whose history has been going long before you got here. So these characters have connections and histories and paths that don't feel like they're just suddenly blossoming. You know what I mean? We're like stepped into the middle of the world, and I feel like it's hard for stories to do that sometimes. And I guess because it's based off of Norse mythology, so it's already something that we feel as people like it's not just like a made up sort of thing. It's made up, you know what I mean? Like it's like actual something that you could research before the story came out, so you kind of feel like you actually feel like this is something that's been here before. It's hard for me to explain. I'm not making any sense. Okay, anyway, I'm tired. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead in this part right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and show the like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.